We do work with some great actors, though, and we've been very fortunate. And I mean, I personally love the fact that we work with kids in our acting class, and then they get to participate in our films because it's such a great learning experience to be on an actual set. With hitting your mark, going back to one. If something's MOS or just all the different things that you learn on a set that you wouldn't necessarily learn in a regular class. And then some of these kids are growing up and some are in college. Now they have their own teams and they're competing against us for the 48. And I'm so proud. I really am so proud of them. So
Lights on the set, the director's late. The cameraman sneezes, oh what a fate. The coffee spilled, the script's all wet. But darling, we ain't started shooting yet. Actors rehearsing with lines gone astray, improvising words like it's Broadway's play. The boom mic drops in a hilarious dive, but somehow the scene comes out alive. Oh, lights on the set.
Hello and welcome to Anecdotes 2.0, where we talk with local filmmakers about anything. Actually, we want to learn about what their techniques are. We want to learn about or talk about things that happen on set. We want to have some fun, with it. So my name is Bob Krieger, and today we have the brains behind. We did brains. That's a throwback to something. We can ignore that right now. The brains behind Headhunter Productions. We have Lisa Mackel, Hunter McGregor, and Brandon Oseka. Welcome. All right. See, now this is a podcast, so you're not supposed to open your mouths and talk. Okay, so we're all good. All right. So I'm going to ask a simple question to begin with, maybe. What started y'all in your filmmaking journey?
Well, for me, I was always an actress, and then I started making films with Hunter, and I think the more I got involved in it and really saw the process and how it was developing, it just was fascinating to me. And I think I've gotten a little bit, more and more involved every year. I've done some writing, I've done some directing. Love to do more.
Great. Hunter?
So I had always done theater and then kind of jumped into film when I worked in an ad agency that was the worst ad agency, least creative ever, who had the worst boss, and basically just made me quit. And a friend of mine who I knew from theater was casting. It was at the time it was called Hunting and Fishing, and became Meet the Spartans, and asked us hey, do you want to come be on this movie or whatever? It was just as a featured extra, and then I got bumped up to stand in. And then met people, and they were like, "Oh, you need to go do this," and go. And so I did a bunch of episodes of K-ville, and got an agent and everything, and just kind of sprung from there. And then a friend of mine was doing the 48 hour, the first year of it, and I helped out on that. And then the next year, I was like, "Oh, I think I can make my own team." At that point, it was a lot smaller. And then after that, we all teamed up and joined in on, I think the first one we did was Into the Wood, I think.
Into the Wood, yeah.
And then we've been doing that ever since, and 48s and LA Film Prize and Time Code NOLA and some of the Global Film Project and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Brandon?
I would say growing up and just going to the video renting and just pulling something off the shelf and just wanting to watch different things, and got me into movies. And then I guess after college, I decided just to leave Nebraska, come down here, started working at a film studio, and been there 15 years. And then I finally was like, I want to start actually making films, and got involved with Headhunter.
Okay, so there's not a lot of filmmaking in Nebraska?
Other than Nebraska.
Yeah, we could make film with corn, so we can have some fun with that.
Maybe Children of the Corn, was that film there?
It should have.
Should have been.
Because it's based. Yeah, it's based in there.
Yeah, every time I see a cornfield now, it's like, no, not
Don't
quite.
go in there.
Definitely don't.
Field of Dreams, was that?
That was Iowa.
Oh, okay. Same thing.
Wrong corn.
Yep. See.
All right, so let me find out a little bit about what was your most fun experience on set? Like something that just kind of jumps to mind. Like this was cool. This was a good time.
Well, for me, my most favorite and fun experience on set was when I was cast in the role of Jizz Mom. For thankfully, the credit on IMDb does not say that. I think it says Lorraine. But anyhow, it was for Adam Devine's house party, and it was just super fun. And it was a scene where Adam Devine is having a flashback moment, and he humps my leg, and then he looks me in the face, and I'm the mother of one of the comedians, and he was so charming and kind on set. So he's saying all these kind of naughty things to me, but then every time it would break, he'd say, "Are you okay? Am I offending you?" And I was like, "Of course not." He was just adorable, and it was so fun. And I laughed the entire time. It was one of the best. And thankfully, my credit did not say Jizz Mom.
Okay. I remember that. I may have to throw something up there that I added, but we'll let that go. Hunter.
Well, I mean, we've done a lot of we've done every genre, but we've done a lot of comedies, and there was a bunch of those were really fun, especially John Hughes Is Gonna Sue Us was with all the '80s throwback homages was fun, and it was such a fun to write script. It could have gone 20 minutes and did 40 more homages to 80s films and stuff. Also in one of the indie movies I did was Silkscream, and it's a horror comedy, and Lisa was in it as well, and we just had a whole lot of fun on that because it was just kind of goofy and just a whole lot of fun to film,
Okay.
A lot of MacGyver low budget stuff in there,
Low budget. We're going to have to get back to that. That's always fun. Brandon, what about you?
I would say anytime that we get to throw something in someone's face
Soulmates.
or blood getting spilled all over. Lisa.
Blood getting spilled all over Lisa. That's true. That was in John Hughes as well, wasn't it?
That was really tricky because we shot that actually on a green screen, and then you cut it into the gym. But it was one take. I mean, this is low budget, 48 or no budget, 48 film, and so there was a green screen behind me. I was in the chair. We were doing a flash dance type thing, and I knew it was one take. Y'all were above me with a bucket of blood. And when you dropped it down, it went straight up my nose. And I thought, I'm going to die. I can't breathe. But I just held it because I knew this was like a one take thing. And thankfully I think it looked really good for the film. Everybody was wondering why there wasn't blood splattered all over the gym floor, but that's the reason.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, you could not shoot in the gym. No, not drop blood. It was
would
a
have
brand new
killed
gym
us.
at the time, and that was not allowed. No, not at all. But
didn't the principal ask? It's like, you put blood all over my floor.
there was a question about that. Yeah, it's like, don't worry about it. We cleaned it up. It's okay. No Carries were killed in the making of this film, so it was okay.
And Hunter got split pea soup in his face in Soulmates. That was a good one.
Oh yeah.
I personally enjoyed splattering that on him. You did too. We both did, Brandon. We both hit him in the face with it.
Yeah, there's something about low budget filmmaking and trying to make do with what you've got, and
Right.
the idea of going total exorcist, with the split pea soup, it looks so bad on camera, yet it's perfect. It's like you don't have to really have the bad stuff, and there it is. It's all great.
Well, and it works. And Hunter and I teach acting for kids. And we were talking about that just the other day, how on a big film set, you might have 3 and 4 of the same outfit. So that if you do, blow the take of getting splattered in the face with something, you can grab another wardrobe, outfit, do a wardrobe change and shoot it again. If you're on a no budget or low budget film, you've only got that one out. It's a one take thing. So you've got to make it work some kind of way.
Especially for the 48, it's all time.
Plus
so it's
timing,
gotta
yeah.
Knock it out as quick as possible, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and there's things you need to do to make things work. I did a film a while back called Eric's Illumination, and it was a passion project, that I did for a friend of mine. And in one scene, there was the idea was that a guy got stabbed or shot. Somehow he was cut in blood, and the angel had to come and heal him. No budget. He had a white t-shirt on, and that was what was going to get bloody. So you have to think about what you're going to do. We had to shoot it basically in reverse, and so we got all the clean scenes like afterwards when he's healed and the blood's gone and the hole is covered and everything else is like, hey, look, he's back to normal again. He had to act like that. But then after that, then we shot the scenes where he gets shot or stabbed. I think it was shot, and the blood, starts seeping through and everything else. And it worked, and we were worried. It's like, okay, well, we have to go. Somebody's got to go run to the store and buy another white T-shirt just in case. And it's like,
Right.
we don't have time. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. We're shooting downtown Covington, and against the wall, a brick wall somewhere in the middle of the night. And it was like, no, there's no doing it. We're either doing this and doing it right, or we got to come back again another day because this is getting late and to do this. So there's a lot of that I think everybody who's watching this, who wants to be a filmmaker, needs to understand that, it's not all, okay, well, we need 17 sets of wardrobes so we
Right.
can do this. We need all this stuff. You have to make do with what you've got.
And a fun fact about Eric's Illumination, I auditioned for that film,
Oh, you
did
did?
not book it, and I met you there.
That's right. I'm trying to think.
You gave me your
what was
card,
this?
and you were like, "Oh, I'm going to be
talk,
involved
yeah.
in the 48. Blah
That's
blah.
right.
You might, if you need to be on a team or you look for a team." And how about that? So
I forgot about that. Well, I forget about a lot of things these days. That's okay. That's age. No. So you have these low budget, no budget
Yeah.
films that I think everybody, you start off that way, and then you go to the higher budget ones. Can you tell me something about like when you were in a larger budget or big budget picture that you're all in, something that was you're not going to find in a normal, say, 48 team or normal low budget film, like seems like a lot of us are used to?
yeah, I think for me, it's probably I'm in Five Nights at Freddy's. The film it came out about a year and a half ago. They're now working on Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Actually, they're just wrapped, so that will be coming out soon too. But I was in a scene in the mall, and just the sheer volume, like there were about 100 or more extras in just all of that type of thing, like just having all of that, like having just the background people and all the things that just lend to the scene. I think that's really a tough thing to kind of, to have that sort of thing in a smaller budget or a no budget film, because you just don't have the cast.
Right. For the smaller budget, you write a certain amount of characters based on who you have there available. You're calling friends last minute. It's like, hey, can you come quick play this little role? You only have 3 lines. You'll be in and out. Shoot it early. You can be home in no time. But like when I did like the Watchmen in Atlanta, we shot this one scene by it was like a cemetery, and I was playing a reporter, and we shot, and and there was a whole bunch of extras and just like a ton of people there, and we shot that one. It's maybe a minute long scene or whatever. We shot it for 14 hours. Every angle, there was a crane that came in and like went through the crowd and pushed up in, and it was all this just tons and tons of gear and all these people and everything, and shot from every angle. And it's the short films and stuff like that, you don't have time to spend a whole day on 1 minute of footage.
I remember a long time ago when I thought I wanted to get into the acting side of it, and I decided, nah, I'm good. I'd rather be behind the camera. Way back when, there was a small film called Cat People that shot in New Orleans with Nastasia Kinski.
I love that
and
movie.
Malcolm McDowell, and
Yeah.
it was horrible. It was so.
I like that.
I was an extra, and I was a cop. and one of the many police officers that are searching for the leopard in the swamp in Slidell. So they outfitted us all with the full head to toe police uniform, official police uniforms, the pants, the socks, the shoes, the shirts, the badges, and everything. Then on top of that, it was the raincoats and the hats with the raincoats. It was like, so you had two hats depending on what they wanted. The director decided that he wanted everybody to be walking through the swamp, so therefore they had to have their raincoats on. And it was hot, and it was summer, and it was sweaty. So, there we all are, all fully decked out in these uniforms that no one can see, no one ever can see, because this is the way that they wanted to do it. Same thing, there was another scene where I was one of the firemen outside the cat house, and it was, you had the fire coats on, but you had to have the full fireman uniform underneath. And it's like, for authenticity, no one's going to see it. Is that really necessary to do that? And you're sweating buckets, and you're wearing this stuff, and it's hot, and it's August in New Orleans, and it's just a mess. And that's a big budget thing. And
True. Yeah, and that's a tough thing too, because I've had to shoot winter in the summertime, and that's miserable when you're wearing coats and it's so hot out. And then my daughter, who's done some acting as well, she was in a commercial that was supposed to be springtime, and it was freezing, and all the little children ran off of a school bus. It was like a commercial, it was a commercial, and all the moms were actually waiting off set with like coats so that they could run straight into their. It was freezing, but I mean, those are the things you have to kind of, you have to do.
Yeah, there's so much that you have to, that they do on big, but that it seems to me to be a waste, but they want to have everything. They basically have every contingency covered just in case. And in terms of the low budget features, low budget films, the short films and everything, it's a lot of you try to plan for everything, but you're going to get caught unawares by something. And that, I think, is part of what I wanted to do this podcast about. Is like, what kind of caught y'all unawares at times? What something that you can tell me in one of the films you did, that you worked on, that you were in, or whatever, that was going to go horribly wrong, and somehow, you pulled it out. Can you think of anything like that?
Well, I know we did a film for Time Code NOLA called Humidity, and it just happened to be one of the most cicada heavy times of year in New Orleans, and every bit of our sound had a cicada in the background. And thankfully, we had a really great editor who was able to drop that out. But I mean, we were thinking how,
actually,
or what, as needed. But it was like, how in the world are we going to shoot this? Because we had, it was all about humidity. So we were outside in the heat. It was part of the film. We had to have it. And man, those cicadas were super, super loud.
I was art department on a film called Samuel Bleak, and this is my favorite MacGyver thing. And it was low budget, but it was a feature with it was a SAG film, low budget, but and I was art department, and like that morning they said, hey, in this scene we want them to be eating a birthday cake. Do you have a birthday cake? It's like, that's not in the script or something. It's like, no, we just had it. It's like, and we were about to shoot in like 20 minutes. It's like, let me go to Crafty and see what they have. So I ended up taking a honey bun and like cutting it into like a slice, like, and then stacking it, putting like jelly in the middle to make it look like icing, then shaved off the top of a Pop-Tart to make fake icing, and it looked like a birthday cake, and the actor actually like scooped up a piece and ate it. And I was like, that's the hero cake. There is no other. There is no other one. It's like so they kept having to turn it on each take, so you couldn't see where he ate it. But that was like super MacGyver, art department moment. It was fun though, and it made the frame.
Well, that's good.
I would say during the 48, when Lisa decides to pull animal film, and we're like, oh, crap. crap, what are we going to do?
Wait, is it never work with children and animals or always work with children and animals?
Right.
Because
Yeah, we go against the grain there.
Yeah.
But we happen to have a fantastic
we
dog.
ended up having the best, most well-trained dog, and we shot in a cemetery, and that dog hit her mark every single time, which I don't know any actor who's ever done that.
She was in a commercial as well.
She
Remember
was.
playing a frozen dog.
Playing
And
a
she
frozen-
sat on
She
that chair,
froze.
not moving.
Not moving.
For every take. It was
Yep.
amazing.
I think I know that dog.
I think you do too.
Yeah, she's inside. She's not allowed out here right now. But that's that's always fun. There were always times on set that I know, and that doesn't happen all the time. It happens every now and again, that I feel like I'm going to wrap it up. I'm done. I'm out of here. Screw this. Screw life. I'm packing up my toys and I'm going home, and you can't play with them. One in particular was a 48. I won't go into details about that one, but I provided everything that we needed, and then the director decided that he was going to play Diva and lock himself in a room and rewrite the script and do all this, and it was just like more than I could stand at that time. But Lisa, you turned me around, and
I happened to be on that set.
you happened to be on that set.
And in addition to that, I believe a smoke alarm went off. That was loud, and it was so hot your camera kept overheating.
Yep, it was.
It was
very
a rough one.
Mm-hmm. It was after Katrina, and I think they had AC problems in that house anyway, where we were shooting in, and yeah, it was a mess.
And we pulled it off.
We did pull it off, and you were so much fun in there trying to do everything in that thing. There was a pool at the house we were shooting in, and our director decided that this is something that we didn't do. Thank goodness. The director decided that in the pool he wanted to have somebody in a mermaid costume swimming, and he wanted the shot from underneath the water, under the water, showing the mermaid swim by, and then the camera come up, and which would have been a cool shot, but it's like, I have no underwater cameras. I have no GoPro. I have nothing that's waterproof to do it. And his comment was, well, this is for the film. You can get another camera.
Oh, great.
I was like, no, we're good. No, we're not doing this. I'm sorry. We're not a big budget feature where I can just throw a big airy, into the water and hope it works. And then we'll get another one from camera department. It doesn't work like that. No, but so that was the bad stuff. So let's talk about.
That was a bad day.
Oh, it wasn't the most fun day, and it was it was in Chalmette.
Yeah, Chalmette.
And we had to drive from Chalmette after the fact, after everything was packed up, back to across over here to Abita.
Well, that was fun because both of our sons participated in that
Both
film.
our sons participated. Yeah, yours.
Mine was dressed like a cowboy, which makes sense. He seems to have a cowboy thing.
You made me remember something that I think you need to relay to us.
About that scene? Oh God,
No.
no. Kill me. Oh, fine, I'll say it. He'll never watch this anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead. No, you have to say it. Sorry. That's what this is.
So we were shooting this film, and it was like kind of a swinger party, which it's this unsuspecting couple goes to a party and they don't realize it's a swinger party, and then the wife gets excited because she feels it's a swinger party, so she goes into the bathroom and she changes her clothes and makes herself look sexy, and then we were like, wouldn't it be fun if she had like a condom to stick in, in her bra or something to show she's going to be part of the swinger thing, and we were on set and we were like, does anybody here have a condom? Does anybody here have a condom? And my 19-year-old son raised his hand, and I was like, "Oh, does that make me a good mother? Does it make me?" So yeah, we used his condom in that scene. God, no.
It's a fond memory.
Family films.
Family films. It was wonderful.
Was that the genre y'all got that year?
No,
Family film?
I don't remember what that one was, but it was that was the.
I think we just pulled comedy that year.
We pulled comedy and the Keith Flippin year.
That was
And
yeah.
The Keith Flippin year, and it was interesting.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was in the beginning or nearer the beginning where we just wanted to be nominated.
We wanted to have good sound and get a film completed.
Get it completed, and that's
beginning,
it.
middle, and end.
Yeah, now I think we're looking at trying to get, like, we need to win the awards. We need
Yeah.
to go total, win the city and then go off to Filmapalooza and then win everything, which, But I think actually that's not a bad story to talk about when y'all in the movie Remember actually won the city and won a few awards at the big Filmapalooza.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was the year that we pulled time travel at the genre pool, and my mother had suffered from dementia and had just passed away in April, and so we were filming, I guess, in July. And Hunter said, your mom was the biggest time traveler I've ever known. How do you feel about telling her story? And it was so soon, and I was like, I think we have to. And we did. And I think that doing a story that you feel so close to and that you really care about, I think that makes all the difference. And it was a really great year. We won a lot. We won the city, and then we went. You went to Paris and represented us at Filmapalooza.
Yeah, we won best makeup internationally against whatever the 120 something other cities, and Lisa was nominated for best actress.
Which is actually pretty good. There were only 5 nominations, right?
Yeah.
Right.
For that award. That's actually pretty damn good, I think.
And it was really interesting to play. It was cathartic for me because I had just kind of gone through this experience of my life, and to be able to kind of embody my mom, and in the film we go from being young and then to being old, and to really just kind of connect with where she must have been, what she was feeling in those moments when she was, having such a difficult time, and
Like she would kind of flash back to like right after your dad died,
Right.
Like in about 1990. So she would,
yeah, that was like the break, I think, right there. That's where the moment
she would
kept going back.
almost toggle between then and present day. She would be lucid, and aware, and then like every morning put out a cup of coffee for
Yeah.
him.
Actually, she went back to right before my dad died, which is
Yeah.
really sad. Like, so I suppose that was that moment, that she wanted to relive.
Wow. That was such a great film. And I was sad to not be part of that.
I know.
But that's okay. It was one of those things like, yep, this one has to be a winner. This one is it met all the points. It hit all the beats that we needed. For time travel, for the drama part of it. There wasn't a dry eye in the house when it was screened initially, and that was actually one of the to me the best things that this film could have received is people just talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, and for something that's 7 minutes long, that was done in just 2 days, and in your old facility, with the ceilings that are about this high.
Yeah.
Well, we had a wonderful set designer,
Who made the studio
Allison
look
Franz. Yeah, she
made
did
it look like a
fantastic
retire
job.
home.
Yeah,
She
retirement
really,
home,
really
yeah.
did. Yeah.
we had it was good. I
And Kelly Conboy did the makeup, which was fantastic.
And Jack Hollander,
Jack
who was
Hollander.
13,
Yeah.
I think at the time.
and what did he do
The old age makeup.
Yeah,
and all, yeah.
They did it together. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was a huge part of that, and it was just amazing. It was really cool.
That's fantastic. Well, I love all these stories. These are actually quite fun to listen to. And Brandon, when did you really start working with Hunter and Lisa in doing these films?
On Good Girl.
On Good Girl, okay. And what did you think initially when you started doing this?
It's crazy. It's not a lot of time on your just, you want to say it on the fly. You're just getting whatever you need to get done. Something doesn't happen, person doesn't show up. It's like, oh, we got to switch those lines to someone else. And something's got to get done. So if you got to put a morph suit on and it's not so flattering, just to make a teddy bear move around, you get it done.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay,
Yeah, it was. I think we got runner up for best film for that one.
We got runner
You
up.
mean Good Girl?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Featuring Maggie,
Yep.
the star. And then Ian Winnikoff,
Yeah.
who's one of our, would been in the acting class with us, the kids class. He won Best Actor, and he had this speech in front of my dad's tomb, and you green screened it and made it into a different named tomb.
Right.
That was
We had
crazy special effects to do in 48 hours.
Well, we had to change the name of the tomb.
Yeah.
It couldn't say McGregor. It had to say whatever the name of the character was.
I remember.
And so we had to put that on there and actually add the, because in the film, of course, the little girl dies, and we had to put her name on the tomb as well. So it's like make it old, and then a new carving. And it was just a real quick couple of seconds, if that, but it was enough to kind of like, oh, okay. And I think one of the problems I have with like sometimes the judges, who look at these films, are looking at 40, 48, 50, who knows how many of these films, and to try to figure out who is the best, who's doing this. They'll miss those little parts,
Right.
That I think is important. But I guarantee you that if somebody saw McGregor on there, it's like, why is this kid talking to this guy? It's like, what, you need to have something in there to kind of motivate it. And they see that, it's like, oh yeah, well that's what it should be, and they forget about it and move on. So it's like
It was like too perfect for them to realize.
Yeah, it was
how
so
much work
good
you
they didn't
did
even
it.
notice it was done. They probably thought, oh, they must have found a tomb that happened to have a little girl that it,
yeah, it's like no, that's not how it works.
it looked that good. I just wanted to say that, like Brendan is our producer, and he is the best. Like you live it and breathe it. If leading up to the week of the 48, when everybody's crazy or doing everything else, you were just, he's getting crafty together, or he's like you just whatever it is we need, whatever kind of film we're doing, all of a sudden Brandon's like when we did Soulmates, all of a sudden Brandon's like, oh, I just happen to have all these Ouija board things from my house. Like I don't know how he does it.
A belt was the required prop, and he had.
He's like,
a
"Oh, I have a
belt
Ouija
with
belt."
Ouija board buckle. It was like,
But it is, I think that what makes a great team, and I do think we're a great team, and I love our team so much, is that we all work so well together, and we all have our certain places, and like that is something that it's extraordinary that you do. And then Hunter is our writer director, and then a fantastic editor involved. And I'm not exactly sure what I do. I kind of wrangle. And then I do some acting sometimes, and I've done a little bit of writing, but I just think it's interesting that just how much we can depend on one another. And I think that it's so important, especially in a timed competition.
Oh yeah, lots of things.
And there's some heated moments, where you're like, everyone's like, oh, we got, we don't have enough time. We have to move on. And we negotiate it somehow, we negotiate it through whatever it is, the shot, like, okay, one more take, or, whatever it is.
Yep. And we do. I'm going to get rid of remember here and throw up the Headhunter logo, because that's basically who we've been dealing with. I think we all have our own production companies, if you will. I'm La Film Studios and Hunter, but we collaborate so much. This doesn't matter, because this is me, this is you, this is all of us. We did something like this. This is always fun, where we did the
I love that.
film Headhunter, collaboration, which is always kind of
And
fun.
then I briefly had my own. It's not real.
Yes, it is. This one, yeah, which was always fun. We
That's my logo.
We decided to make your logo Team La Head Smackle. Okay, when we tried to bring everything together.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't stick with that.
Oh, I know exactly why we didn't stick with that, because it was we had just finished pulling the genre and everything, and we were writing real quick, whatever the story was that we were writing, and I came up with that because it's like, you were the team lead. It's like, well, you can't be Headhunter, you're Lisa, you can't be La Film, that's me. We're going to. So I said, okay, and it was like we pulled. I don't know, I can't remember what the genre was, but it was something like, what are we going to do? So I pulled that together real quick just to have, they were smacking our head on the ground, like, oh my God, what are we doing? And yeah, you didn't like it, but that's okay. We'll put Headhunter back up.
Yeah.
There. So what do you see in the future? What's coming up that's going to be really fun, you think? Anything? You have ideas, I know.
oh yeah. Well, I'm finally working on finishing a script that I've been writing with another writer, Eric Bizet, called "Floating on Firecrackers." Been working on this script for like over a decade, and I will work on it for a little bit, and then not touch it for like 4 years, and then we're like, man, this is almost done. We just need to finish it, and so we've been now working pretty consistently on editing and getting it back up to speed. We're supposed to meet next week to kind of finalize the last missing
Okay.
little pieces.
Is this a short or a feature?
A feature.
A feature. Okay. And how long is it supposed?
It's probably going to be about 110 pages, I think. It's kind of a drama. It's a kind of coming of age story.
Okay.
Kind of like it's like reality bites, kind of maybe mixed with what's the one with Judd Nelson and Ali Sheedy and John McCarthy, or not John, Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy. Oh,
St. Elmo's Fire?
Yes, St. Elmo's
I
Fire.
was like,
So it's kind of in that realm, and then another. I need to finish the feature, the horror feature. It was called Shadowlands. Gonna change it though because that's already taken. That you worked on the
that's been a while.
Yeah.
That's been
That's
a while.
before I
a
met
little-
either of you.
we did like a little sizzle reel for it, and that's another one that I haven't touched in a while. That's almost done. I'm at like 70 pages, and he's just need to add a little bit more, and that'd be a low budget horror feature.
Yeah, we need
I
to
think
get
we need to move into the feature realm. We really do. We've done so many short films, and we've really been quite successful. I mean, I think we've won a lot of things, and
I'm in
it's
agreement
time.
with that.
It's
Yes,
time.
It's time. Yeah, the shorts are great. It's fun. It's a real quick turnaround. The problem is it's too quick a turnaround, and we don't really have an opportunity to polish the way we want to. I'm working on a short right now. Zombie Dad or
Walking Dad.
That's it. Walking Dad. The Walking Dad. And it's fun. It's a fun little silly short. It's less than 5 minutes long, actually, I think. But it's like once it's done. You put it away. But with a feature, it's like we can, something that we can do is sit down and plan it. Plan it out. That's something that I think a lot of people, but we don't have the luxury for when you do a 48 or a time challenge or a short film. They don't really get into pre-production, and pre-production is the biggest part of any film. I don't think people
It's where you
realize
solve
that.
all the problems.
You find the problems crop up, and you realize, oh, this is what we need. You have your prop department and say, okay, we need a pencil here, we need this, we need a cake, we need all the rest of this stuff. So as long as we have Pop-Tarts and honey buns, I think we're okay for cake. But
Put that down for crafty, Brandon.
Noted. It'll show up in the next shoot, I can guarantee you. So we have, but you can plan it and try to get things done. Look at the locations, get the time set up, and when you have your talent ready to go, your actors, like this is when you need to be on set. This is what, and we can have a read through. We can do all sorts of things ahead of time, so that when people get on set, they know what the blocking is. They know what they're going to shoot. We know the angles we're going to do, and that's one of the things that we do with the short films. We don't really block things out. It's like, okay, well, I'm putting the camera here because there's space. And it's like, so let's shoot it in this direction. No, we're not going to do that. We can't do that. But we do need to move into that. Like pick a feature and let's go. Like which one would be the most receptive? And the drama, the horror. Is there?
We also have
comedy?
the scavenger hunt. It's kind of the Goonies-ish.
What was that one? I don't remember.
I remember we were talking
We were
about
going to do it for the
With the
film
kids.
prize
Remember
with
the
the
kids?
kids. Where they go
going on that.
It's
It's elaborate.
like
I don't remember that.
what's the
We'll have to
movie?
remind you. We'll have to. Oh, don't even make him say it. Oh no.
No.
Midnight Madness. It's kind of
Don't
like
you remember the
that
kids in the
mixed
acting
with
class would
Goonies.
like penalize him $1 if he said Midnight Madness because he was talking about it so much.
Okay.
We scouted a beta and we went over to
Remember
the
we all
park
scouted it
and
together.
the bridge and
Oh, okay. It's I don't know. I have to kind of that's
We-
it's not
we've done so
clicking.
much.
We've done so much. It's ridiculous.
There's also that the blind woman script
Yeah.
that
That we
We have a couple of different things, and
prize
yeah.
that we were talking about doing that for the film prize,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's like 5 pages single spaced of all the actions that have to happen. It was like this is already like a 35 or 40 minute,
minute
thing.
film,
It's
right.
easier to elongate
Yeah.
it into a feature, really.
I think I'd rather we look at things. I think I'd rather go for like shooting a feature. We plan it out. We're looking at it over the course of a year.
Yeah.
Planning it, shooting it, and then taking the time to edit it right. Finish one scene at a time and do it right. Than to do something like the film prize again. Because I'd still, even though we don't have to travel up to the Shreveport Bossier area, I'd still rather do it here,
Yeah.
or locally, wherever locally is.
It's beneficial to be in your hometown because you have access to all the different locations, and it's just a little easier.
And it's so much that you can do, and I'm not worried about the prize money. I mean, money's nice. I like money, but it's like we need to have have something that's solid, and a competition. It's like most of those films, even if you make it, but you don't win or whatever, they don't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
The feature, however, you can do something with that. You can shop it around, and
It's almost impossible to monetize a short film.
it really is.
I mean, it is impossible, probably. Yeah.
Well, there was something I was thinking about, trying to figure out how to do it. Something along the lines of Time Code NOLA, where I take all the short films we made with you and Craig Leidick. They always played a married couple somewhere in there, which is really kind of strange. But we get all those films together, and we shoot some wraparound segments to tie them all together. It's like kind of like a sci-fi thing where all of a sudden boom, change. You're the same people, but now you have to be these other characters. You have to kind of go around and make that a feature. Here you go. Here's a feature, and it would. We could probably get it on Amazon, and no one would watch it. It'd be awesome.
We do work with some great actors, though, and we've been very fortunate. And I personally love the fact that we work with kids in our acting class, and then they get to participate in our films because it's such a great learning experience to be on an actual set. With hitting your mark, going back to one. If something's MOS or just all the different things that you learn on a set that you wouldn't necessarily learn in a regular class. And then some of these kids are growing up and some are in college. Now they have their own teams and they're competing against us for the 48. And I'm so proud, I really am so proud of them. So,
Well, that's one of the things about the 48. It's the time competition, 2 days, and so on and so forth. And for the past number of years, we've worked with y'all's acting class. And, as they say, never work with kids or animals, but we're going to do it all.
Always work with kids.
And we always work with kids and animals. It's so much fun. But what I like about it is that we've kind of, we want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to win. But we've gotten away from that being the driving force, and now it's all the learning experience. This is like an annual graduation film that these kids do. You come in, this is what we're doing. We're on set for a whole day, and there's a lot of hurry up and wait, and then get in there and shoot your stuff, and then go. They can see the process, they can understand it, and from there they can learn. Like, do I really want to continue doing this or not? Is this my cup of tea or not? And so that part I think is really beneficial to them, and that makes it worthwhile doing rather than well, I'm not doing anymore because I didn't win. It's like, that's not it. We make a good film. These kids have something they can add to their reels that they want to continue on. And that makes it more fun. That makes it worthwhile. It's not just, self-aggrandizing, BS. We're just having a good time and helping them. So.
And then they've several times won like best ensemble or have won, best actor, actress, supporting or something. Like there was that one year we did. Was it John Hughes? I think. And they all went up to get the trophy, and there's always like the statue of Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
All of them holding
holding the
the
statue
trophy.
up there.
Yeah.
That's right. It was John Hughes. It was because that's really what an ensemble is. They all worked together, and it was all kind of fun. That's something else that I think is different from what we do, from what y'all do, than what a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams try to, like, we only have 48 hours, so we're going to limit it. We're going to have like a cast of 2.
Yeah.
We're going to have a single location. This is all we're going to. And we have 5 or 6 or 7 kids, multiple locations. You know,
Because we're crazy. but-
yes, yes. And usually the Monday after, I'm dead. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping. Or actually, usually I have to go back to work, but that's the
Right.
way it goes. But it's we try to like push the envelope. What can we do? What is the most extreme thing we can do within the time frame that we have? And I don't really see a lot of other teams trying to go that far, trying to push that much. It's basic filmmaking, dialogue, a camera shot, move on, that's it. But we've actually tried some extreme things, trying to get things done when we've done the 48. Not throwing the camera in a pool. No, we're not doing that.
You've done a lot of
Remember-
crazy special effects, though.
Well, it's
You remember for Into the Wood, we had 18 characters.
That's right.
What idiot would write that?
Yeah.
And we did. I think Jen said our script. I think she said we did 72 setups for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. We were just
It's
knocking it out.
I didn't realize that now.
Yeah.
Now I scare myself. That's not good.
Don't do that again.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
Into the Wood. Yeah, it was we had a holiday film, and we had to pick a holiday, and we decided, well, not Thanksgiving or Christmas or any one of these standard holidays. No big Easter bunny, big teddy bears, but that's a different movie. We're gonna go with Arbor Day because it's a holiday that no one really knows about, and we had that. We had Santa. We had the military involved.
So it was Arbor Day staging a hostile takeover of Christmas.
So we had to have different locations within. I think we shot at my house. Within my house, we had to. We used
The Abita gazebo.
gazebo, the pavilion in Abita. Used a number of different locations. There was the tree with the knot in it in the backyard. Yeah. That backyard has seen a lot of things.
Had a bunch of
There's a graveyard
fake
at some
graves,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the people that own the house now, they don't know about the grave.
right.
We're not going to talk to them about that. But it's been a crazy ride. It's been fun. I've been so mad at everybody. Like, oh no, wait, one more. One more for safety. It's like we've done 17 for safety. Okay, and we have to keep going. It's like, no, okay, we got to move on. And I think with a feature, we'll be able to kind of cut that down and
Right.
really kind of go in. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We need to have a conversation about that off camera, and then have some fun with it. So let me think. We're going to go ahead and try to wrap up. I think we did. I mean, this has been fun so far because this is where we're just talking, and that's really what I want it to be. I want to have a nice conversation. I want to talk a little bit about the fun things that happen on set, and I think we covered a bunch of those, which is always fun. Lisa, do you have anything else you want to add for me? No?
I don't think so.
Didn't think so?
I can't think of anything to add. No, we're just we're preparing for the next 48.
Oh, God, that's in July, right?
Yep, a couple months away. It'll be here before you know it.
18, 19, 20.
Yeah. Do we know when there's going to be meetups on that one?
May 15th, I think, is the first meetup.
Okay, I'll have to look at that one. Actually, that one, yeah, I'm not going to be in town. I'm heading out to Arkansas, so that'll part. And they don't like it when I say Arkansas up there, so too bad. Hunter, anything you want to finish?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. And Brandon, you've been so talkative today.
He's the chatty one.
Corn.
You've been so expressive.
Right.
He's the brains.
Okay, brains. Okay, and this is Pinky, and you're the brain. Okay, so do you have, if you had your druthers, okay, if you could do anything you wanted, what genre would you want to shoot?
Animal film.
I always like comedy, so definitely,
You always like comedy. All right.
just slapstick, inappropriate. There's few and far lately. It's something that's kind of gone away, and I'd like to bring it back.
Inappropriate slapstick comedy. I think we can accommodate you.
Mockumentary is always great.
Mockumentaries are, so we'll see what happens when it comes up. But we will work on features.
Yep.
I want to say thank you all for joining me on the Anecdotes podcast. I really do appreciate it. And I want you all to stay tuned because who knows what's going to come up in the next couple of weeks. Appreciate you joining us and get out there and film. Thanks to our sponsors, La Film Studios and the Abita Springs International Film Festival. If you want to sponsor the Anecdotes video podcast or be a guest, please email us at anecdotes@lafilm.net. Anecdotes is recorded in the 36 and 59 studio in beautiful Abita Springs, Louisiana.